Good wishes. Welcome. This is a session on evolution of computing. Evolution of computing. How the computing has actually started. Good olden days. How the computing has actually started in good olden days. And then how it progressed. What are the current status. And in what direction we are moving. So we'll be concentrating on only computing. So these are the phases, we can say. It started with pebbles, and then abacus. Calculators were used, personal computing, client server computing, peer-to-peer computing, distributed computing, cloud computing, fog computing, and moving towards quantum computing, molecular computing. The pebbles, I think in most of the cases we are not using, except in rare cases we make use pebbles now also for small things, but we have stopped. And abacus, now and then some people, some enthusiasts use the abacus. As calculators we were using regularly, but with the computers, with the online computers, with smartphones, with calculator apps, we are not using the physical calculator. We are not using the physical calculator. We are using the virtual calculator or an application. Next, personal computing started. After that, the remaining things are based on networking, client server computing, peer-to-peer computing, distributed computing, cloud computing, fog computing. They are based on what is called as networking. We'll see what is networking briefly, and then we discuss those things. And then we are moving towards quantum computing, molecular computing. This we already discussed it briefly. Only to add them to the computing technologies, I have included here. So you already know briefly about quantum computing, molecular computing. That will be enough. So pebbles were used to do calculations. When nothing was there. So people collected what are called as pebbles or small stones, and they started counting. They could perform some arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction. I think it is difficult to perform something like division. More convenient operations will be addition and subtraction. After that, abacus, which is something like a slate, with rods, and then to these rods there will be number of beads. These beads can be moved. By moving the beads appropriately, calculations can be done, and calculations can be done very quickly actually. In a fast manner you can do the calculations. Still some people use it, and they consider they can perform calculations faster than using calculator. So we have to experiment if we want to know the reality, but definitely abacus is very effective device. So calculators are electronic devices which can be used to do the mathematical operations, and they have inbuilt program, or the program is fixed, loaded into the calculator, and you cannot modify it. But you can do various calculations apart from these arithmetic calculations, including addition, subtraction, division. We can perform operations related to logarithm, sine, cos, there is trigonometry, etc. It depends on the type of the calculator which you have. So these pebbles, abacus, and calculators are used to do mathematical calculations. We limit ourselves to mathematical calculations only whenever we use those devices. But a computer is a general purpose device. And is based on the concept of stored program computer. That means a computer can store the program. The program can be loaded into the computer, into the memory of the computer, and then program can be executed to achieve the desired results. The program can be run several times, and each time you may give different inputs, and depending on the inputs, it will generate the output. It will perform the same function like addition, subtraction, prime number determination, etc. But depending on the input you are giving, the output may vary. The output may vary. But also with programming, you need not restrict yourself to numbers or arithmetic. You can do operations on different kinds of data, including say the characters, including characters or sequence of characters called as strings, and then images, and then videos, and then videos. So you can perform operations on different data types. Personal computers have some capability, and you cannot go beyond that capability. They are limited by the capability. It depends on the processor, RAM, and hard disk. But apart from these personal computers, so internet came into picture. Okay, you have personal computers here and there. Persons can use them because persons use them for their own purpose. They are called as personal computers. Okay, you have personal computers, and particularly if you are in a home, it's okay. You will be using your personal computer. But suppose you go to an organization, go to a large organization like JNTU. Okay, so there you can find number of computers. So individuals can use the computers, but individuals can also share information easily. Individuals can also share the information easily by connecting those computers. By that connecting of computers is called as networking. The connecting of computers is called as networking. You can connect using cables. You can connect using wires. That is wires, and you can also connect using wireless transmission also. Without using wires also you can connect. So basically you connect them so that you can share the information, share the data. Data includes the test data, and then the images, videos, whatever may it be. You can share. The information may be present in any computer, doesn't matter. Also you can share the resources. In normal environment, organization environment, usually people don't share the resources, but it is possible. Processor, hard disk, RAM can be shared in the sense that you have a program, and your computer is busy. You can get your program execute in some other system. That you can do. You can get your program executed in some other system and get the results. You can store your programs in some other system also, provided that user of the computer permits. So sharing of information, sharing of resources, sharing of information, and sharing of resources. So with the networking came the computing models: client server, peer-to-peer, distributed, cloud, and then fog computing. Cloud computing means, so you have say computers. These computers can be classified into two types. One is client, the other one is server. Client and server. So any computer can act as client, any computer can act as server. So but client is one which makes a request for some service. Client is one which requests for some service. Server is one which is capable of providing service. Server is one which is capable of providing the service. So one that requests is client, the one that provides service is server. That's why it is called as server. So many clients can contact the same server and request for the service. And because many clients can connect to the server, the server should have high processing capability. Server should be an advanced machine. That means it should have better RAM, better processor, and then more hard disk also. So that it can serve many requests at a time. So client server, that classification is done based on what it does, whether it is requesting or providing service. Apart from it, the hardware also may vary. Not mandatory, but may vary depending on the requirement. Next is peer-to-peer computing. Peer-to-peer computing. What is that peer-to-peer computing? Peer-to-peer computing. As the name indicates, peer-to-peer means equal. So in the case of client-server computing, one machine is called as client, the other machine is called as server, and there is some kind of dependency of client on the server. There is some kind of dependency of client on the server. Let me try to explain. If the client and server are there, then client actually requests the server. Client actually requests the server. So this is one machine, this is another machine. So there is some kind of dependency. There is some kind of dependency. Now, if there is no dependency, then it becomes peer. If both these are equals, then it becomes they become peers. They become peers. So though people think that the labs that are present in most of the organizations are based on client-server model, it is not true. So they are based on peer-to-peer model only. They are based on peer-to-peer model only. All the machines are equal. So when you connect all the PCs which have same capability, they are actually acting as peers only. They are actually acting as peers. So all machines can be considered as clients, but cooperating with one another. And this is used at a large scale. This is used at a large scale, but there are legal issues associated with it. But in your lab, you can do anything. But whenever you want to share to the outside world, there is a problem. So you can share using what are called as torrents. And torrents are based on peer-to-peer computing. If you have the habit of downloading movies based on torrents, then you definitely know about torrents. But be careful. Viruses are associated with the torrents. You should be very careful. It's not recommended. Not recommended. But using torrents, you can share. That means peers equals will be there. So the movie may be present in anybody's system. The movie may be present in anybody's system. Anybody can access it. Anybody can access it, download it. So that is peer-to-peer computing. Peer-to-peer computing. Peer-to-peer computing. Distributed computing. Distributed computing. So distributed computing is an abstraction. That means, so if you consider distributed computing, so suppose this is a network. Network is usually represented in the form of cloud. So if this is the network where there are number of computers, it's not empty actually. The number of computers are there. Inside it. So what this distributed system does is it creates a level of abstraction. Over it. So this is where this distributed system actually works. Distributed system. So the network of computers are there. And you create a level of abstraction over it. So the network is there. That means number of computers are there. But it is difficult for the common man, for us also, but particularly for the common man, to access the resources wherever they are available, to access the information wherever they are available. In the network, at any point the resources may be or information may be available. So if you have just network, you have to Actually know where the data or information is available, connect to that computer, and then you should retrieve the required information. Because it is difficult, a layer of abstraction is created over the network and is called as distributed system, and it gives you the illusion of single computer. It gives you the illusion of single computer. Gives you the illusion of single computer. It gives you the illusion of single computer. So that means you will be accessing the information as if it is present in your own computer. You will be accessing the information as if it is present in your own computer. So actually the information may be present in your computer, or it may be present in a computer that is available somewhere thousands of kilometers away. Maybe computer is present in USA, there the information is available. But you will be able to access as if it is present in your own computer. So that service is actually provided by this World Wide Web. The World Wide Web is a distributed system that is built over a network called as internet. So internet is there. Internet is there. So over the internet you have this distributed system. So distributed system is a software actually. It provides you the illusion of a single computer. That means it finds the information wherever it is available and gives it to you. That is hidden from you. So please remember, it is the World Wide Web that brought the internet to the common man. It is the World Wide Web that brought the internet to the common man. So otherwise, if you just have internet without World Wide Web, it is very difficult. So it's the World Wide Web which brought the internet to the common man. Cloud computing. It is a different form of computing method which is becoming popular nowadays. So cloud computing. So it allows you to access the services. So this is the computer. This is the computer. And somewhere the services are available. What are the services? We will see. Somewhere the services are available. Where services are available. It's also a computer. Services are available. So if the services are available somewhere, you should be able to access these services. Now, how do you do it? It is through network. So it is through network. So this computer accesses the services through the network. That's why it is called as cloud. Cloud computing means accessing the services over a network. Network is actually represented as a cloud. That's why it is called as cloud computing. Now, what are the services or resources that are available? The resources can be classified into these three types. Infrastructure, platforms, and software. Infrastructure means the processor, RAM, hard disk, etc. That means over a network you will be accessing those resources. That means you will be executing your program on that computer. You will be storing your program on that computer, etc. In that case, you are accessing the infrastructure. Platform platform means you will be accessing the operating system. So operating system and other software which are essential for running your programs. Programs belong to you only. Programs belong to you, but you have to run it. For that you require an environment, particularly the one that is provided by the operating system. So that you will be accessing the services of operating system. Services of the operating system. So services of the operating system. The next step is you will be accessing the applications itself, not the operating system. Applications itself you will be accessing. So based on that one, so based on what are being accessed, you have different service models actually. So if you access hardware, then it is called as infrastructure as a service. If you access hardware, it is called as infrastructure as a service. If you access operating systems or platforms, then it is called as a platforms as a service. If you access applications, then it is called as software as a service. So infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So I think that is enough for you. We'll be studying more about these things in cloud computing subject if you study it. I hope you are going to study it. But a lot of things are happening with respect to this cloud computing. Next, it is fog computing. Okay, it is a variation of cloud computing only. It is a variation of cloud computing. The problem is if you have computer, okay, if you have computer, I will retype. I hope this is visible. If you have a computer, and if you access the service over a cloud, so these two machines may be separated by several kilometers. In that case, the information will not be available quickly. So what is being done nowadays is so this is called as edge of computers. So at this edge of computers, so you have what are called as edge computers, where part of the services may be available. Part of these services are available. Instead of accessing the services by the computer, instead of accessing the services over a network from this point, this computer will access the services from these computers which are nearer to it. That's why they are called as edge computers. The computing is called as fog computing. So it is gaining importance nowadays with cloud computing. Whenever quick response is required, go for fog computing. Okay. So lot of research is going on. Probably go for it. And then I already told you about quantum computing and molecular computing. Quantum computing means you will be using what are called as quantum bits or qubits. So 1, 0 or superposition of both. So they are used basically for solving complex problems. Since it is covered in the previous sessions, just moving forward. So same in the case with the molecular computing, still we don't have computers based on molecular computing. Still we don't have, but probably we'll be having, and it is a solution for the current limitation of these transistors. So this molecular computing is based on organic chemistry, bioengineering, smart materials, and molecular biology. So we'll be using molecules to store the information and process it. So thank you. Vanakkam. Best wishes.